Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations, and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, The Economic Downturn. The economic downturn. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, call halal, Yamla, Allahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And something that's on my spirit. And this will be straight to the point, you know, and as the title reads, the economic downturn. And this is where, you know, the world and ultimately this place, the U.S., is what is what it's coming to. You know, things are gonna get very uncomfortable going forward. All we can do is embrace the struggle, you know, because at the end of the day, all roads lead to the MOTB, the RFID, the micro CHIP that's spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter, where no man can buy or sell. The world is headed towards a new currency, which is going to be that mark, that RFID. You're going to need that to, you know, get a home, a job. This is going to be the new requirement. You know, the days of physical cash we're on a countdown to the end of having the dollar bill. But you know, Trump is really pushing hard, you know, with this whole big beautiful bill. And that big beautiful bill, I think overall, quote me if I'm wrong, is a total of $1.7 trillion in aid, government aid cuts. And one of them is, you know, your Medicaid. You know, your health coverage. So, you know, it's coming because this is prophecy. But let me get straight to the scriptures. You know, in the headlines I was looking at, and it was saying that at least 60% of the country is in that position of, you know, going from check to check. They're in a position to where they're looking forward to that next check they needed to, you know, to pay off a bill or, you know, to pay their bills. And we know inflation is here. And it's not going nowhere. But, you know, and this whole thing with the war over there with Iran and the Israelis, you know, gas and oil is going to go up. So you just got to, we're in a time of downsizing, man. Downsizing. It's time to get rid of some stuff, man. You know, and, you know, using your resources wisely. If you have your EBT or your housing, you need to be trying to take full advantage of you know what you can. Or if you're not on those things, you know, trying to save little by little until this CHIP, this MOTB come. Saving little by little. Budgeting. Definitely budgeting. Let me go here. Call Allah, YAHAWASHI. This is just something that's on my spirit. You're going to have to budget, man. The squeeze is gonna get so tight. It's gonna get tight. Proverbs. I just got a couple scriptures, and I'll close out. Just something that's on my spirit. Proverbs. Let me go here. And those that got families. You a family out there, and you living below poverty line. You only make your household only making 18,000 a year, or 25,000 a year. You're living below poverty line. 30,000 a year. You're below poverty line. You need to put your twos and fews together. This is where a lot of praying and fasting. Pray. You're going to have to pray all the way through till you get on them chariots, man. But the Lord is telling you. Let me go here. Right here in the scriptures, because it tells you in Isaiah, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Proverbs 21 and 5. Proverbs 21 and 5. It says, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but everyone that is hasty only to want. It says, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. Thinking ahead, prioritizing, not cutting no corners, man. Preparation. In this time, the Lord is giving everybody time to prepare. You go to the store, get you a couple extra canned goods. Get you a couple extra cases of water. Set it aside. Say, I don't care if it's one case of water or a couple gallons. Put it up somewhere. Put one up. Do what you can to try to prepare, man. But it says, but everyone that is hasty only to want. See? Now, now is the time. You're not gonna, we know trying to, save, prep and trying to store all kinds of food and different assets and stuff like that. That's not going to get you delivered. But in the time right now, this is about surviving, man. You put your you put your twos and fews together, and you make it work. You make it work. But we're definitely in that time of downsizing our stuff. Let me go here. Proverbs. I'll stay in Proverbs. Proverbs 13. It says, saving little by little, budgeting, prioritizing, do what you can to try to balance out some things. You're going to need this wisdom, man. You're going to need this wisdom. Because this stuff is driving people crazy, man. This whole economic downturn, this financial depression is really driving people crazy. See? Let me go here. Proverbs 13 and 13, and it reads, it says, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. And that's self-explanatory on its own. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. See? And the Lord, these scriptures are the keys to salvation. You have to act on it. Interaction. You have to do what the Lord says, man. Put it into motion. But we got a lot of people, they think that they're going to be able to do this on their own. They have their own philosophy and way on how they think that they're going to be able to beat the left hand of the Lord. And it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's why the Lord telling you, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed. You're not going to make it out of this by your own understanding, by your own counsel, what you think or what you read on some other man, or everything is right here in the scriptures. It says, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. See? You're going to be rewarded, man. Ultimately through salvation. The Lord has given you the keys, the whole playbook on what to do in this end time. Because it's going to get ugly. It's ugly right now, but it's going to get oogly. It's going to get very terrifying out here. See? You do what you need to do right now. You got your job. Go to your work. Get your money. Your little check. Pay your bills. Whatever you got left over. You got a family. Try to do something for them, or it's just prioritizing. Budgeting, downsizing. Because it's finna hit the fan, man. This is finna hit the fan. It says 15. It says good understanding. Good understanding giveth favor. See? Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. It says 16. Salakia. I skipped over one. 14. It says the law of the wise. The law of the wise is a fountain of life. And we know what is a fountain. A fountain is a jet stream of water. It just shooting out water. It says the law of the wise is a fountain of life. And we know the scriptures are the living water. It says to depart from the snares of death. Yeah, the scriptures, this wisdom is gonna help you avoid the snares and traps of death that are being laid out right now in this end. There's a lot of people that's gonna get caught in snares and traps because they don't have this living water. They don't have the true gospel, the truth. It says 15. It says 15. It says good understanding giveth favor. Good understanding giveth favor. It says, but the way of transgressors is hard. 16, I'll close out with this. 16, it says, every prudent man dealeth with knowledge. See? A person with some sense. See? It says, every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. Shalom.